You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge Judy.
The Judge Judy intro is very relevant today, ladies and gentlemen, because for the first time ever, somebody is getting sued over Roblox. I've been thinking about this a lot over the past day since I've seen it on Twitter, and I really would like to share my current thoughts about how I feel about this all. I certainly have a lot of opinions to share. Make sure to smash like if you're excited to see a lawsuit. Also, look at how close we are to 900k. We're getting so close to 1 million. If you're new to this channel, you better subscribe, dude. Look at how close we are. Before I begin, I have to remind people that this situation is not Roblox drama. This is like an actual lawsuit that was filed against other Roblox developers because of stuff that's been going down. It's time to take a look at the situation and decrypt it for what it really is. Yesterday, there was a tweet that was posted by one of the Royal High developers saying a statement regarding Pixelated Candy and Ellie. This was a full twit-longer thread talking about how he filed a federal copyright infringement and misappropriation lawsuit against Pixelated Candy and Ellie, who is another person that she associates with, for quote-unquote evidently stealing copies of Royal High for the production of Crown Academy, which is a currently in development Roblox game right now that's kinda supposed to be a little bit like Royal High, like having the same theme to it of being like a magical school that you go around in, you know, pretty much the same concept. And one of the people that is working on Crown Academy previously did work on Royal High. This means that being an ex-developer of Royal High, they were able to see everything inside of Roblox Studio with Royal High. This is what we call a conflict of interest. And that is what has caused this whole lawsuit to be filed. This is a legit entire document written up talking about problems and how apparently there was stuff stolen from Royal High. Like, you can go all the way down here and they provide screenshots of evidence of similarities between the two games' UI, some similarities of inside of the game's coding. For one, I'm going to comment on something real quick. I feel like putting the lawsuit out in the open like that on Twitter isn't really a great look, you know? When you're dealing with a lawsuit, you tend to keep very hush-hush about it or kind of keep it on the low-key. Like last year when I got sued by somebody after my car accident, I never talked about it until after the case was over. Which the reason why I did not say anything until it was officially over is because once that case is out in the open, anything that you say anywhere could be used against you in court. That's why I really have to emphasize that it's really dangerous to handle legal proceedings like that, because this type of stuff is a huge deal. And I'm not really sure about dragging it onto social media for the entire world to see. Something like a legal proceeding should be handled privately, because that would be the most professional approach. Otherwise, you open up this huge door where the court of public opinion comes out, and now everyone could try to find stuff to use against you in court. And there's some other Roblox developers that pointed out, like Andrew Bereza, saying that this is the first lawsuit between Roblox developers, claimed damage in the millions, and this could set a precedent for protection of developer intellectual property. Which I feel like that's probably the most important thing to come out of this, is other developers will feel the need to stand up for their intellectual property if it ever gets stolen, because this is a very common practice on Roblox, unfortunately, where people steal other people's work and totally get away with it without realizing that you're actually stealing some people's intellectual property, and that can be sued easily. Now, of course, Taymaster has gone ahead and responded a little bit to David's lawsuit, saying that they want to have a huge review of Crown Academy and all of its place files, meaning that Taymaster is saying that they aren't actually using anything from Royal High, which this is the point where the case becomes incredibly confusing and really, really difficult to understand, because, like, you got one side that's very dead set on them 100% have stolen your property, and the other side is saying that they did not steal the property at all. I will say, though, coming from the Crown Academy development team, it definitely is a little suspicious to have somebody work on the game that previously worked on a competitor game. I feel like that alone should have like automatically made him not work on the game, because to me, if I was a developer and I was looking for teammates, that is a massive conflict of interest that I simply would just not put my foot in. And of course, now that this case is out in the open, the court of public opinion has gone wild, of people picking sides of whether Taymaster's in the right or in the wrong, or whether David, the guy that filed the lawsuit, is in the right or the wrong. Which is another big problem with putting lawsuits like this publicly, is people just throw their opinions and their own personal bias into this, when in reality, it should have been a private thing for helpfulness of both parties, because putting it public to a huge community of children is not really going to accomplish much. The only thing that I really can think that it does accomplish is that it sets this precedent for other Roblox developers to please protect your intellectual property from people that will steal it. But the case itself, the legal proceeding or anything, it's not a black and white case. Like, it is so unbelievably confusing, and I don't really know who's in the right or who's in the wrong here, because there's so many different things being said to the point where it's incredibly confusing to actually follow along here. I think the worst thing that you can do if you're actually following the situation and want to see where it goes is to pick sides. Don't do that here. This is not, like, once again, it's not some typical Roblox drama. Like, this is a lawsuit. Nothing like this has happened before between Roblox developers. I have to remind people how unbelievably important this is, because it's so different from just petty RTC beef or something like that. And people are also being extraordinarily quick to write off Taymaster, because some people don't like Taymaster, and I think some of it is definitely valid, but when I really want to dissect a situation, the most important thing to do here in a situation like this is listen to both sides of the story. Wait to see what Taymaster has to say. Because, like, if we did that with our legal proceedings and went off of what just one side of the argument said, then we would not have a proper judicial system. It would be terrible, and a lot of people would be in jail right now because of that. I will say, though, that the evidence that is being put inside of the document of the legal proceeding is some pretty damning evidence. And this whole thing is like a professional legal document. I have never seen this type of stuff thrown around ever between Roblox developers. Multiple pages talking about violations and stuff. Different type of problems that they have between the parties and the plaintiffs. It's crazy. Like, I find this type of legal stuff in the legal world fascinating, so to see something like this really spawn from Roblox is quite fascinating to me. However, though, there is a lot that we don't know. There's a lot that is open up in the air and that we won't really know, because I feel like after this point, the entire legal proceeding is going to be a private thing, or so I hope, because I really don't want to see grown adults complaining on Twitter about suing each other, because that's not really the most mature route to go about it. However, just from a spectator perspective alone, and somebody that has never worked on either game at all or has been in either community, I think the biggest thing here that was the problem, to me, that stood out, was the fact that Crown Academy has a developer that previously worked on Royal High. If I was a developer or a team manager or something like that, I would have just told them that that's too much of a conflict of interest to work with. That's not even being offensive, and that's not being any bit hateful towards the individual involved. It's just business. A lot of these issues that have sprung up could have been nullified pretty near instantaneously if a person that was hired from a competitor game was not hired to work on Crown Academy. That's just my own take here. And people are even pointing out on Twitter that almost all attorneys prefer that the contents of a lawsuit are not made public. That tweet basically detailed their entire argument. They most likely broke a rule that their lawyers set up, and that's probably going to lead to some issues between them and their attorney, which is primarily what I said. Like, if a lawyer goes out of their way to make this huge legal document, they prefer to keep it on the low key instead of blasting it publicly for everybody to see. Unless the lawyer was okay with that, but that's probably rare. Regardless, though, it is the first Roblox lawsuit that I ever have personally seen. And I think it's a very interesting situation because it's so gray area, it's so black and white, and there's so much evidence brought up between the Crown Academy team, and I'm still waiting to see what Taymaster has to say or what anything goes on between them. I also don't know how the company Roblox is going to handle this, because, like, I feel like for this situation, they kind of just mind their own business and let them work out their own thing, because Roblox injecting themselves into this would be a little bit weird. That's really all I have to say in this video. I just wanted to go over this whole lawsuit thing with you guys and give my own personal takes and opinion on it all. So make sure to leave a comment down below how you feel about the situation and your own thoughts and takes about everything here. But thank you all so much for watching this Roblox video. I certainly hope that you guys, girls, or whatever, enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Consider subscribing so we can get to 1 million subscribers soon. And until next time, folks, until tomorrow, I'll hopefully see you guys, girls, or whatever, in my next Roblox video soon. But until later, I'm Kaneko Kitten. I'll catch you soon. Peace.